Today we ride our Can-Am Spyder 60 kilometers north from our base camp in Sutton, Quebec to Valcourt to visit the birthplace of our Can-Am Spyder. We take the BRP factory tour and visit the Bombardier Museum of Ingenuity. Miriam and I load up the Can-Am Spyder for another odyssey, this time to Quebec, Canada. This trip will be about 3,500 miles or 5,600 kilometers and take us through 9 states and a border crossing to our neighbors to the north. We are calling this trip North by Northeast. Well, I was going to give you a quick tour of our accommodations for the next few days. We've got an entire apartment over a garage, which is very cozy. So, just a quick tour, then I'll just kind of give you a little bit more detail. This is the basic living area. We have our gears thrown up there. And the couch, the table for consuming our meals and working on video, the full kitchen, refrigerator. And if it gets really cold, we have a wood stove with firewood. So I don't think it's going to get that cold. Although the temperature did shock me when I looked at the forecast this week. It's not going to get out of the 20s here, folks. It's 20s Celsius. And in my mind, I can't convert that to what that would feel like Fahrenheit. I need to work on that. A lot of pictures here from bygone eras. We have a full bath and washer-dryer combination, which is handy, so we can catch up on some laundry. And the master bedroom, the only bedroom. Nice, comfortable bed. And looking out the window at the community we're in, nestled in here. Very, very comfortable. It seems like everybody has wood-burning stoves in this neighborhood.
Hardy.
So I have to channel one of my favorite actors, Tom Hardy. When we were coming through the border agent said, "You know, we make those things," referring to the Spyder, up here. And I said, "I know. We're going to the factory and take the tour." So, yes, one of the reasons we're here. One of the questions we often get is, what kind of gas mileage did you get on the trip? Well, the problem is Quebec sells their gasoline in pennies per liter, and mileage is in kilometers. Then you have to adjust for the currency exchange rate. In other words, I'm not really sure. At least my credit card worked. I have run the numbers, and it appears we are averaging 4 furlongs per demi-yard. Are you ready?
Yes.
I'm going to speak with a French accent, and I know that doesn't do any good. Like a silly Steve Martin line back in the 70s if he went to France. And he told the driver to take him to the Le Hotel. He thought that was French.
And I do feel a bit like a child going to a school field trip today.
Yeah, today the Spyder is going home to visit. And the first time since it left in 2014.
We've heard so many good things about the BRP facility and the Museum of Ingenuity, so I'm excited. I'm just hoping we don't get lost.
Remember, if you don't care where you're at, you're never lost.
Well, I don't want to be late for our 9 o'clock appointment.
Well, we should arrive with a half hour to spare.
Fingers crossed. We've lucked out with another beautiful day.
So we're stopped here for some road construction, and this is an automated system that they pause you and they do whatever they need to do. But if you notice, there's a countdown timer under the stoplight, so you know how long it's going to be before it turns green. That's cool. So you know exactly. And Miriam was just saying that she appreciates all the different signage. Sometimes it's in French, and sometimes it's multilingual.
Well, we made it. Feels good. It's a big facility. I wonder how many employees they have.
So Miriam, where are we?
We're at the BRP manufacturing facility.
Where they build the Spyders. Yeah, it's a big...
So we were quite the eager beavers for our tour.
A little excited, and we were the first ones there.
And we were met by our tour guide, Valerie, who actually works for the Museum of Ingenuity, J. Armand Bombardier. And she quickly fitted us with steel-toed safety shoes and safety goggles, things of that nature.
It'd be the Canadian equivalent of OSHA.
Yeah. And 9 other folks joined us. Some of them were fashionably late. It is important to know that if you're not there by 9:15, you're out of luck.
Yes. Oh, and no cameras of any kind are allowed in the factory area, to include your cell phone. You must lock it up.
Yeah, and it makes sense for trade secrets and what have you. But it was very nicely orchestrated. So pretty quickly we were introduced to the factory floor, if you will. And what struck us is, wow, what a hub of activity.
They need to keep you in a little confined area and walk down a specific marked path.
Stay in your lane.
Because if not, you'll get run over by the very busy people.
Machines.
And machines and automated trams bringing parts to the assembly line.
Yeah.
And a robot's liable to pick you up and turn you into something.
So what struck me about the human element is that they're not unionized. They have a committee of employees who I guess listen to concerns and address them as best they can. But the humans seem very well cared for. They have gone to great pains to make sure that the lighting is as close to natural light as they can get it. And there's a huge fan system that keeps the floor the right temperature, whether it's summer or winter or what have you. What was interesting too, there's some humans that are working at their station. There are other humans who are riding bicycles around the floor, and that's the problem resolution team, as I understand it. So I thought that was kind of cool too. Something's not working at whatever you're trying to do, and when you notify through the system that there's a problem, then someone's on the way to assist.
It's amazing that when you're screwing on a specific part, those parts are brought to you by an automated tram that's following a track laid down in the floor electronically, and that's one of the things that will run you over if you're not careful. So it's a very, very busy place, and they bring like a miniature train with all the extra parts they need for a given station. Yeah, it is. It does kind of take you. I'm not accustomed to driverless vehicles, so that was kind of cool. But the robots, my gosh, they stole the show, didn't they? And what I found fascinating was that line of 4 robots that were working together. What were they making? They were manufacturing the frames for the snowmobiles. Now, we were up there in June, and the summertime is when they produce the snowmobiles. So they have a big inventory for the fall and winter season coming up. And they make the Spyders in the wintertime and have a big inventory of those ready to go out to the marketplace in the spring. This facility only manufactures those 2 items. But it was so cool to watch this line of 4 robots because
all the orders are custom. They don't maintain inventory. Sometimes the robot didn't have a task to perform, so it just kind of held the whatever it was up and then handed it off to its colleague, and the other robot picked it up. And
they would take sheets of steel, bend them, weld them, and then powder coat them, then kick them out the far end, ready to go into the assembly line.
Yeah,
it was amazing.
Yeah, and the last area that we got to explore was where they did the testing.
Yes.
And that was cool.
They take the finished product, put some gasoline in it, hook it up to a power supply because the battery's not installed in the machine until it's delivered to the dealership. And they do a test run. They run it through all the diagnostics and make sure the computer's functioning properly. Yep. And if it's not, they put a tag on it, kick it out to the side,
and send it to purgatory
until the problem resolution team can come over there and figure out what the problem is. Put a new computer in it, or whatever the case is.
Or there may be a part on back order, or any number of things. But it was just cool that we did get to see some that passed inspection and some that did not, and then they're ready to be boxed and shipped off. Another
very important observation: I've never ridden a snowmobile. I've never really even been close to one. I was of the impression that the Can-Am Spyder and the snowmobiles were almost identical, except instead of having wheels, it would have skis. It couldn't be further from the truth. Those are two completely different vehicles from the ground up. I do believe that one of the models of the Ski-Doo does share a headlight assembly with the current Spyder. That's about it.
Wow. But, it felt like a very comprehensive tour. I think we were there a good hour and a half or so before we headed over to the museum. And we did get to see part of the building that was the original structure that Bombardier had built, and that was awfully cool.
Yes.
But absolutely recommend this tour. It was just very intriguing and very nicely done, and you learned quite a bit.
Absolutely, and I think they said the total number of employees in this facility was 9,000.
Oh yeah, and when we left, I have a strong sensation I would really enjoy being a BRP employee.
Yeah. One of the perks, we were told, that you get a significant discount when buying a BRP product, which explains why 2/3 of all the motorcycles we saw in the entire region were Can-Am Spyders and Riker products.
And quite a few in the BRP parking lot.
Yeah.
But more to come. Need to visit the museum as well.
Yes.
Turn right. The Musée de l'Ingénierie. The Museum of Ingenuity, J. Armand Bombardier.
So once we finished the tour of the factory and the museum, it was time to go to lunch. One of the coolest things is that the original garage that Bombardier built to start his tinkering is half a block from the factory, in which they build the Ski-Doos, the Ski-Doos and the Spyders. And the BRP logo is a cog or a gear, depends on how you decide to use it. It means something very specific in Bombardier's life. How he started out with just buying gears and cogs to build his own toys when he was a very small child. So once we finished the tour of the factory and the museum, it was time to go to lunch. Well, it is dinner time here at Chez John's, the Quebec,
The Sutton version.
the Sutton version. And Miriam walked away with my dinner before I could show it. What do we have here?
Caesar salad, Greek salad.
Yes, we were going to go to a little pizzeria down the street, but we've been eating enough of the heavy food, so we decided that we would just get some salads. And I decided to stock up on some protein. Besides the beef jerky. And in the United States, this would be known as Spam, but in Canada it's called Cam. I have no idea. You know, we like to travel a little bit on the comfortable side towards the gourmet side. For example, you all know that I bring my little coffee press and my own coffee. So I've got high quality coffee in the morning no matter where I go. But also in the evening, just being civilized is not enough. Sometimes you need to have a little culture with your when you're winding down your day. So I enjoy a martini, and brought this from home, a little Tanqueray gin mix. Remember the rule: martinis are gin and vermouth. The minute you change that formula or add anything to it, it stops being a martini. Now, the garnish is another question, another issue. And I've got some little packaged olives here. I failed to bring any vermouth. I thought, well, it shouldn't be any problem finding vermouth. Well, the young man at the store recommended a Canadian, Quebec manufactured dry vermouth. He says it's very good, and I'm going to give it a shot and have my evening martini made with it. So, dinner awaits. So how is it? Absolutely marvelous. It is really good vermouth. And wish I could pronounce the brand name. There, you can figure it out yourself.